Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Jason Jones. Welcome back to Health Made Easy, and I'm super excited for this month's topics. We are recording these in June. June is Father's Day, and really what we're doing is we're doing a four-part series on men's health, and you guys are going to love this. And I love doing this one, even though in clinical practice, the number of people I see in a day are primarily women. But I do have a soft spot for men, and not because I am a man, but because in general, men typically do not take very good care of themselves. They kind of tend to wait until their arm falls off before they do anything, and then they still may not do it because they have a whole nother arm that they could use. So what we're going to talk about this week is we're going to talk about natural ways to boost heart health for men. You see, eating a balanced diet and plenty of fruits and vegetables, including, really getting yourself to exercise, around 150 minutes or more a week, are really the two best things you can do to make sure that your ticker operates at its absolute best. But my question is, did you know that there are other major contributing factors for heart health? For example, it has been well spread around that having untreated, high LDLs, or what is typically considered bad cholesterol, can significantly increase your risk of coronary heart disease. From a preventative standpoint, it is preferable that they say that it should be below like 160 to 180. And there are other risk factors, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But even the cholesterol issue has become very controversial as of late. And there are certainly other indicators that may well be a better indicator than high cholesterol for coronary heart disease. For example, your personal and family health history, your blood sugar levels over the last 3 months, like what's your A1C? It should be less than 5.7, but I would tell you, you need to get that thing below a 5 for sure. And if you can get it down into the 4s, that would be great. And then a fasting blood sugar, definitely less than 100. Your current weight and body mass index, ideally, you should aim for a BMI of 25 or less. And your age and level of physical activity is certainly a player in it. Your blood pressure, and they say that your blood pressure should be 120 over 80. That's sort of standard, but everybody's is different. Everybody's resting heart rate is different. Everybody's blood pressure is going to be slightly different. Mine typically runs around 110 over maybe 68 or 70. And to me, that's my normal. Okay, but you've got to find your own normal with that. But it's pretty standard for it to be 120 over 80. But also one to think about that is not often tested and not very well, I would say, known about, and that's going to be an increase in CRP, which is called C-reactive protein, which is a inflammatory marker that you can get on your blood work. So even if you can't hit like all these numbers, and your goal should be to focus on healthy lifestyle and modifying risk factors. And if your current numbers are tipping the scale in the wrong direction, your first step is, sit down with your healthcare provider, take decisive preventative action and significantly mitigate your likelihood of developing heart problems. Here's the reality. There's always going to be things that you cannot change. Don't focus on the things you can't change. Focus on the things that you actually can change. Because when we look at what the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention say, they say half of adult men, including 20% of adult women in the U.S., have a heart that is 5 years older than their actual chronological age. So if you're 50, your heart is actually 55. The genes you inherit from your parents may play a role, but the risk factors for heart disease as a result of premature aging puts you at a super high risk of heart attack, stroke, stiff calcified arteries, thickened muscle tissue in the heart, and things of the sort. So while some of these conditions cannot be improved, the majority are under your control, and you are never too old to reduce your risk factor. So what do you do? Okay. number one, increase your daily physical activity because, having a modified exercise program will help keep your weight and your blood pressure under control. It helps deliver oxygen throughout your body. It even reduces undue stress on your heart. Combining things like 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity or cardio 2 to 3 times a week with full body resistance training or strength training workouts, and then stretching to enhance exercise performance and overall flexibility. Avoiding things like trans fats, too much table sugar, salt, swapping red meat out, especially if you're eating it like every day, with some omega-3 rich fish, chicken, and even increasing your daily intake of fiber, making sure your protein is adequate, and having 4 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day. Keep your blood pressure and your cholesterol in the normal range, and have regular checkups so that you can mitigate disease, that can actually weaken your heart. So it's absolutely necessary to stop smoking if you're currently doing that, and minimize the amount of alcohol that you consume because those are risk factors. Listen to your body for unusual symptoms, things like chest pain, shortness of breath, swelling in the legs, unexplained fatigue, heart palpitations, dizziness, exercise intolerance, etc. And definitely call your doctor if these things are happening. And if these things are happening, consider yourself lucky. And the reason I say that you're lucky is because 50%, approximately 50% of every person that has cardiovascular disease, the first sign or symptom, 50% of the time, this is according to the American Heart Association, and it may be 48, it may be 52. The number really doesn't matter. It's like half of all cardiovascular events, like a heart attack or a stroke, come with no warning sign, no signal. The first time you have coronary artery disease or some sort of cardiovascular disease is that you actually have the heart attack or the stroke. And if that's not enough to get you moving in the right direction, I don't know what is. So, and also the last thing, get enough sleep and always keep yourself hydrated. Be rested and have enough hydration in your system so your body doesn't have to work overtime and work too hard for those other things. So put those tips into play. I hope they helped you out. Guys out there, seriously, take your health very serious. And the reason I say that is because even if you don't want to do it for yourself, even if you don't want to have six-pack abs or whatever it is, understand that your children want you around for a very long time. Your spouse probably wants you around for a long time. Your parents do not want to outlive you. You want to be able to enjoy life. You want to be able to go out and hunt, fish, do water sports, run, do triathlons, whatever it is that you want to do, you are going to need a healthy heart to be able to do it. So this is Dr. Jason Jones signing out. You guys have a healthy week and keep it simple and keep it easy. See you guys on the next podcast. Bye-bye.